There's a lot of energy and new developments in the Galt area of Cambridge, and there's also a new resident in an old restaurant building. It's the Napa Grille wine den. We're in the heart of the Galt neighborhood of Cambridge, but this is California-inspired cuisine. Tell us a little bit about that and why you chose that cuisine.
Yes, Andrew. We chose the California-inspired cuisine because we felt that it's a little fresh style of cooking with a lot of influences. You have Hispanic, Latin American, Asian, French, Italian as well. So there's plenty to choose from, and it offers our guests a wide variety of cuisine.
The building itself has a storied past as a restaurant for many, many years. That must play to your advantage in that people sort of know that there's a restaurant here. Have you found that?
Absolutely. When the previous restaurant had closed, my business partner and I felt it was a wonderful opportunity. And as soon as we opened up, our guests kept on thanking us over and over and mentioning how glad they were to have their neighborhood restaurant open again.
There's two components to what you do. It's implied in the title. There's the grill and the wine den. Tell us a little bit about how those two sort of play with each other, as it were.
The previous two establishments here were more fine dining, white linen restaurants, and we just felt that if we put the name grill behind the name Napa, it would lend itself to a more casual atmosphere. The wine den, my business partner came up with that concept. He wanted our guests to feel that when they came in for a glass of wine, they were going to be very comfortable, like being in your den at home.
As for the food, there are over 24 items on the menu, and I know the menu is about to change, but what are some of the favorites that you think people have really taken to?
Our guests really seem to enjoy the seafood that we serve. The one dish that seems to be the most popular is our Coppolino, which is an Italian fisherman's stew, and it originates from San Francisco.
There's a private dining room that people might be interested in knowing is there that they can use.
Yes, the private dining room, or we call it our Sonoma room, seats up to 60 guests. We can offer wedding functions, engagement parties, business functions as well.
Though that season is behind us now, there's a lovely patio outside, and maybe we might sneak in a few more days later in the fall. But coming up in the spring, I'm sure that you're going to be really happy to have that patio.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful patio. Our guests just absolutely love it. Every day this past summer, it was packed, and once again, it's just a little tradition around this little neighborhood where the guests just come down from their homes and hang out on the patio with a drink and some appetizers.
I'm always happy to find risotto on a menu, and Josh Boros is here. He's the chef at the Napa Grille. He's got a kind of an interesting dish with salmon, asparagus risotto, and a hollandaise sauce. We're going to learn a little bit about that today. So Josh, is it a kind of a fun dish to do, and it's a new dish for the menu, I believe?
Yeah, very much. It's something that we're looking at doing for our new menu, which we'll be rolling out sometime in the next couple weeks.
Nice.
A little bit more fall wintry, a little bit heavier dish. So updating our menu for the new season.
I love risotto, so I'm really interested in seeing how you put this one together.
Excellent.
Let's see.
Okay. So we start off first. We have a cast iron skillet here. I'm going to heat that up with a little bit of butter and a little bit of canola oil. Allow that to get hot. The butter obviously for flavor, and then the canola oil brings the smoke point up so that I can cook at a higher temperature with it. Now we have our Atlantic salmon fillet here. And I'm just adding a little bit of kosher salt and some white pepper to season. And we'll do the same on the other side as well. So now my pan's hot. The butter is melted. I'm going to add the salmon to the pan, and I'm going to do this presentation side down, which would be the top side. Back on top of the heat, and we're going to let that sit and get a nice crust on the outside. In the meantime, we can start our risotto.
Now, risotto is a long process. Do you pre-cook it?
It takes about half an hour to make a risotto from start to finish. So what we do is we'll cook it to about 80% done and then lay it out flat on a sheet pan and cool it down. It's called par cooking. Now we have some garlic and shallots. I'm going to add that to the pan and I can start to sweat this down.
I imagine you don't want color there, you just
No.
want to get it nice and tender.
That's correct. So I'm going to add my white wine. And that's a process called deglazing. And in the meantime, my salmon is ready to turn, and we got a nice crust on there. We're going to put her in the oven to finish her up. Now my white wine has started to reduce, so I'm going to add my par-cooked risotto and some chicken stock. So we're getting very close here now. So I'm going to add my Parmesan and a couple knobs of butter. Now the final component to this dish is we have a hollandaise sauce. To make a hollandaise, I have a double boiler here, which is just a pot with some hot water at a simmer. So I'm adding my egg yolk. Now you want just egg yolks as they have the proper coagulation effect. And I'm going to whisk this over the double boiler, and the point of this is that it will cook the eggs part of the way and allow me to emulsify the clarified butter in. And we're going to finish it with a little bit of cilantro, some diced jalapenos, some lime juice, and a little bit of white wine as well for some acid. And we're going to stir that to combine.
Well, it's a California-inspired cuisine with Canadian ingredients prepared by Josh Boros here. It's the Napa Grille and Wine Den.